everyone. This time I have the pleasure to interview Laurent Dresse, Data Governance Evangelist at DataGalaxy. DataGalaxy is one of the companies that we will have this year Data Innovation Summit. Laurent, thank you for your time to speak with me. Can you please tell us more about yourself, your professional background, your current working focus?
Yeah, thank you, Natasha, for the opportunity. I've been working in the data world for about 15 years. Prior to that, I've always been the liaison between IT and business in many organizations. But I was I was proposed to manage an MDM program, which I took over, and it was my first step in the data management world. I strongly believe that your career is opportunistic, so I made the choice to jump into MDM back these days and had the opportunity to build my knowledge around data management. Now I've been working with many companies in the past years as a consultant to shape their data governance organization, structure, and toolbox. Since 2 years now, I'm the head of professional services at DataGalaxy. So I support my customer with the data catalog implementation and modeling of their use case into sound solution into our application. So that's a very rewarding job I have at DataGalaxy.
Thank you for this brief introduction. To start with, according to Gartner, organizations are investing more in data and analytics, and a big portion of that budget is expected to be applied to data governance practices. Can you tell us more how DataGalaxy sees the importance of data governance for organizations?
This is indeed a growing, growing budget and growing attention point for many of the organizations on the market. They understand the importance of data and they want to invest quite a decent amount of money in their initiative. But let's pretend you want to build a house, 2 floors, nice equipment, huge garden, and so on. Nice, but you still need to start with a solid concrete foundation. This is what we call data governance. You can't jump straight into AI, machine learning, data quality if you don't set the basics right. So you need to know who owns the data, how the data is flowing in your organization, how it's transformed, who's using it. This is data governance. Set the basics right, and then you will be able to leverage your initiative.
Good to know that. DataGalaxy, your company, sees the data catalog as a way to connect and reconcile the IT and business teams in an organization. Can you tell us more about the importance of this approach?
Yes, there is a gap between IT and business in many organizations. Too often, it's a pure IT-led initiative. They define some requirements, assess some tools, and pass it on to the business, and then it fails because there is no buy-in from the business side. So the ideal approach is to set an IT and business task force who will jointly develop the data catalog requirements. Then together, they will go through the tool assessment and most of the time perform a thorough testing or a proof of concept, and then jointly implement the solution. That's this joint initiative which will make it a success. And this is how the organization can ensure that they bring value to the entire population and not only to one part of the organization.
Who should start, based off what you said, the setting up the data catalog in an organization? Who should start the initiative? Should that be the IT team or the business team? And how can both teams have the same understanding about the importance of data catalog and make any initiative successful and beneficial for the organization?
Well, I would say that it can be started from any side of the organization. The most important is to have both IT and business around the table because both should provide their requirements, both should provide and identify the value they want to put around this data catalog initiative. So if you start it as a joint effort, you will have a joint value, you will have an overall value to the organization, and this is what makes it successful in the implementation phase.
This was very helpful to know. And how long does it take to set up a data catalog? When organizations can see the benefits of this process?
The implementation of a data catalog is, I would say, delivered in several phases. The first one is putting your ideas together even before selecting a tool. Defining what is your vision and strategy. And then once you've identified the right tool, I would say it takes an average of 2 to 3 months. Not that it's that complex to implement, but if you want to have a thorough and an end-to-end documentation of your use cases, this is usually the time frame. It's how you will document your technical sources, which is most of the time a very quick exercise because we have a set of connectors that can retrieve the information in a very short time frame. Most of your time will be spent more on the business side and how you will organize your glossary, structure it, and classify it. There is a lot of time of unification of your business items from an operational standpoint. And then at the end, after these 2 3 months, you will be able to display the benefits and showcase your first implementation to the rest of the organization and start the ramp up of the content of your data catalog.
And are there any challenges during this process?
There are a lot of challenges and pitfalls. I would say the first one is only focusing on the technical aspects of your data. Don't get me wrong, it's important to have technical visibility of your data sources, but it's not the ultimate goal. It's important to have value to the business in the enterprise. Then another one is not having operational use case identified. The value of your data catalog comes from the relief of the operational pain from the business side. This is really your targeted audience. Then another pitfall is the lack of analysis of your use case. You can identify as many use cases as you want. If you don't spend time investigating the technical and the functional perimeter of it, you will at some point get lost in your initiative. And then another important item is don't go for a big bang approach. Don't try to reorganize everything in one go. I would say start rather with a small initiative in one of your division and then promote iterative approach in your data catalog implementation. And don't worry, it takes time. I mean, you will never have a data catalog implemented in a couple of weeks. It's a journey, it's a change of mindset. And in fact, it's how you change the organization so they understand the importance of data and they understand the role they play in the data value chain.
Thank you for all of this information and knowing all of this. What DataGalaxy is doing to help organizations to overcome all of these challenges you spoke about before?
Once the organization has selected DataGalaxy as their data catalog solution, my team, professional services, kicks in. We have a strong team of seasoned experts coaching our customer on a daily basis. We spend a lot of time transferring DataGalaxy knowledge to the customer, ensuring proper use case modeling in their platform. We really have the ultimate goal to have our customer autonomous after our coaching period. The customer success is really our success. So we invest time and energy helping them on a daily basis.
I hope many organizations will find this helpful. And from your perspective, how do you see the future of data cataloging? Let's say any trends in the upcoming 1 or 2 years?
For me, the trend in data cataloging is how artificial intelligence will support the automation of non-added value activities in data management. For now, we still spend a lot of human time in documenting the data catalog, and this is where technology should support. Human intervention should only be positioned to bring operational knowledge and expertise into the data catalog. Everything that could be automated should be automated. Now, with more and more cloud-based and self-service solution, the data centricity will become a very important skills in organization. So data literacy will also be part of this cursus or knowledge ramp up in organizations. We already have also concepts such as data mesh, which allows data-driven or domain data-driven architecture, I think this will also go with business use. A lot of business will focus on their domain across global data catalogs. And last but not least, and I'm looking for my own interests, data catalogs will also be part of people productivity tools. We are now using emails, chat like Slack, MS Teams, or so on. So data catalog will be embedded in this day-to-day product suite to allow, in fact, data catalog content to be surfaced to the users without having to connect to a specific application.
Interesting. Let's see how that will develop. And since we've heard enough about the importance of data governance for organizations, what your final advice and recommendations is for organizations that haven't started this journey? What they should pay attention to, where to start?
My first advice to this organization is start now. Don't wait any further. Knowing your data is really a competitive advantage. Then practically is thinking big about your strategy and roadmap is important, but start small, move and fail fast. It's an agile and iterative approach. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. The sooner you make the mistake, the more, I would say, adaptation you will be able to bring to your data catalog and entire metadata model. Then you should have a pipe of 2 or 3 use cases identified. So you can start with real content and real operational pains and relieve them as you implement your initiative. Then showcase your use cases. It will create this dynamic in the organization that at the end people will come to you and suggest their own use cases. Then once you're almost done with your initial phase, with your first use cases, open it to the organization. I mean, confront your data catalog modeling, your architecture to the real world. I mean, this is absolutely necessary feedback for you to adapt. And then iterate, iterate, iterate. I mean, it's a never-ending story. Data governance, data catalog should be embedded on your day-to-day process, and in fact, should be a mindset and not a project.
Perfect. Thank you, Laurent, once again for your time, all this insight that you shared, and we look forward to meeting you and DataGalaxy team at this year Data Innovation Summit.
It's indeed my pleasure, and I'm looking forward to the people who will be on site to meet them, or through the virtual booths that we can also exchange around the data catalog initiative.